everyone, it's Sue here from RachandBellacrafts YouTube. Hope everyone's doing okay. Welcome to my channel. To any new people stopping by, I would be very grateful if you would subscribe and hit that bell for future notifications of any videos I do. Welcome back to any returning subscribers. I really appreciate your support. I haven't managed to keep on top of my scheduling, as you've probably realised. As a result, I've lost a few subscribers. Obviously they must have noticed. I'm a bit upset about it, really, a bit sad, a bit wondering whether I'm good enough to do this, to be honest. Some people seem to get over 1,000 subscribers within a few weeks of joining YouTube. I know that you can buy subscribers actually, and they're not that expensive, but I don't really want to go down that road. My husband says I should just keep going. It's what I like to do. It keeps me relaxed with when I've got a very hectic, difficult job at the hospital. I'm not a clinician, I am a secretary, but it's very difficult. We're the ones that are on the front line dealing with patients' queries and questions and upset about not getting appointments, etc, etc. So we're fielding everyone for our consultants, and it's not that easy. But anyway, I'm not going to go on about that. But my health isn't brilliant, and I just feel that I work 3 days a week now, which doesn't sound a lot, but it's full days from 8 till 4, and it's really full on. And by the time I finished, I haven't got any energy to do much else other than cook dinner and try and get up here after dinner if I feel up to it. But often I nod off on the chair because I've got these issues, health issues. Anyway, I would really appreciate everyone's support. Just bear with me. I am trying to get to the stage where I'm going to actually retire, and then I'll be free. I'll have 7 days a week to get the scheduling done and all of that. So I don't want to waffle on too much. So today I'm doing, as you're aware or not aware, I've been following 2 different YouTubers. One is Rachel at Roxy's Creations, and I've been following her hashtag Roxy's Weekly Creations, and I'm behind on those, which it doesn't matter, you do them as and when you want to. And I've decided to dip into the ones I want to do rather than faithfully carry on every week, because some of the things I've been doing recently, so it's kind of a repeat. The other person I'm following is another Rachel, and that's RachandBellacrafts, and hers is hashtag 100 days rab. And again, I've decided now, because of time constraints and everything, and because she's doing the Roxy one as well, so some of her weekly challenges, she put her own spin on them, but they're very similar to Rachel's at Roxy Creations. So I don't want to actually do some of those. I just have to pick one or the other, basically. Otherwise, you're just going to get repeats. So I've decided I'm just dipping in as and when I want to, 1 a week for each of them, whichever episode I fancy doing. Some of them I have never done, so that's a good learning curve for me. So this one is actually hashtag 100 days of rab, and it's day 20, and it's making an ephemera folder for the fussy cuts. Now Roxy at Roxy's Weekly Creations has also done an episode of making an ephemera folder. So I've chosen Rachel's at RachandBellacrafts simply because I like the way it's being done, although I'm incorporating a bit of both, really. So you have to use some fairly sturdy paper for the inside pages. I've had this 12 by 12 scrapbook pad, double-sided. It's quite thick. It's 230 GSM actually. I got it from the Works in the UK. It's a shop that sells all sorts of books and toys, and some has a small crafting section. I've had it a few years, but it was only £3. I love it. It's all kind of Mandela style. I love the colours. I love the sort of ombre effect. I'm just flicking through quickly because I'm conscious of time. I have to keep an eye on my phone that's videoing, because it has a habit of just switching itself off. So, and then I don't realise, and I've carried on and not been recording, so that's another issue. Solve one problem of storage, get a new phone that you use just for videoing YouTube, and then get another problem. So let's get started. So for this, I found an old book cover. It's not an old book cover, it's actually a book club associates book. I didn't actually read it. It's not one of my kind of the genres I like to read, but I use it for my glue book. You know, when I'm sticking stuff, I use it as glue book paper. So I'm going to use this book cover. Now, there are several options that you can do. You can take the whole spine out if you want to, and you can widen it to make a bigger one. So I have shown you, I'm just moving the camera slightly, sorry. I have shown you how to do that on a previous video of just taking this out, neatening this up, and then adding some very thick card inside here and using some tape and taping it either side and then covering it. Now I'm going to do the method that Rachel showed at the end of her video from RachandBellacrafts, and that was to keep the spine in. I'm going to cover it with material, and I found this material I had in my stash, which I love. It's like psychedelic mushrooms, actually. If you've been, you know, in the 60s when you were up to no good with the old puffing away or magic mushrooms. Not that I know anything about those, I don't actually, but it just reminds me of that. So I'm going to use that for a bit of fun, because it is for me. It's going to sit on my desk and it will cheer me up. So I'm using that. I'm going to strengthen the inside spine. Oh, I need to take that page out. That'll be another good glue page. So I'm going to neaten this up, strengthen the spine with this sample material. Now I've tried, oh, this actually comes off. So I'm taking that plasticky bit off the back that tells you what the sample is called, etc. I don't know if I could take all of this off, and it might take too long. Oh, it's coming off. So while I'm talking, I'll just try and take a bit more off. So yes, so this is a sample piece. My husband picked up a batch of these at a car boot that he went to. I didn't feel like going to. Oh, it's back in about the start of the car boots this year, probably around about Easter time, I'd say, something like that. He likes going to them, and I don't often feel like going. He takes Paddy Dog, off they go, and comes back with treasures, he calls them. So it's already been crimped down the side with the scissors. Actually, I'll just use my zigzag scissors and just cut the very edge of that off, and hope I can do it fairly straight. And I don't mind if the bits go inside the book, because I could just tip them into my bin. So just giving that a bit of an extra edge to match the other side, although mine are not zigzag. Mine are more like the edge of a postage stamp, but anyway, that's fine. Let's tip that away. Okay, oh, didn't go, did it? Right, so I'm going to use that to strengthen the spine inside. I'll probably put it on the top of the material. I'll see, because what I want to do is, when I cover it with material, I'm going to then put something here and here, and then the material, so we'll see. Excuse me. So I'm going to cover this now. And let's have a look at this. It was quite a big bit of material actually. It's doubled over. I hadn't realised, so I'm going to have to cut a piece out. I'll be back when I've cut a piece. Okay, I'm back. Right, so what I did is I placed the book down on it, and I've just cut enough to go around the edges, a little bit more top and bottom. Now I may just cut that off actually, that is a bit too much, so let's turn the book round. I think I'm happy with that. I'll just get my cutter back out, the demon cutter that scares the life out of me. And I think I want to cut it. We're just going to cut down there, so that's going to be my guide. So my ruler doesn't quite fit down there, so I can move the book, straighten this out, and move my ruler now, and line it up with that, like that, and take that much off. There. Right. I have to put this blade away, it scares the life out of me. I cut my finger on it once. I've never forgotten it, because I mean it didn't need stitches or anything, but it was sore for such a long time. So that's our funky cover. The funky mushrooms. So all I'm going to do is check that the cover has not got any blobs of glue on it from the Beacon 3-in-1. I'm using Beacon 3-in-1 because it is going to be stick down better. Now what you want to do is you want to do one side, then the spine, and then the other side, otherwise you're going to have a crease. So let's got it in place. Let's glue the front cover. Just going down that groove. Try not to use too much. So what I want to do is I'm just going to turn it round so I can manage it a bit better. Make sure it's how I want it, where I want it, and I'm going to smooth that out, give that a smoosh with my bone folder. One thing about Beacon 3-in-1 is it gives you a bit of wiggle room. So that's the front cover. The front done rather. So now we move on to the spine. Doesn't matter if the book is upside down underneath. I've just realised it is, because well, you're not going to see it anyway. So just pop some down in that groove. Again, I'm just going to turn this round and stretch it into there. Crease that down with the bone folder. Oh, I haven't got my light on, so I don't know how much, whether you could, that's better, isn't it? Apologise for that. Oh, dear. Right, and let's do this, and I hope this is going to be okay. So I'm going down that crease. And give that a good, actually the bone folder doesn't make it any better, the bone folder seems to wrinkle it more. So that is our cover so far. Right, okay, so now we'll do the inside. So what you need to do is where the spine is, you need to cut your material just down there and down there, and do the same the other end, down there and down there. So you've got that flap there. I'll just get my tiny snippy scissors to go straight down to the edge of the spine, so you can see there that you've got that little piece that's going to stick up separately. So we'll stick that down first. It's very hot here today. It's about 30 degrees, which is a lot for the UK. I know it doesn't compare to some of the temperatures that have been around the world, that have been people have been experiencing. So that's that part done. That's the spine bit done, like so. Okay, and then I'm just going to snip off only this corner of this material. Just don't want to go too close to the edge, that corner edge, because I've done that before. It just takes that bulk out. I've done that before, and then when I folded it over, there's been a gap. So this is what I do, just like that, and then going to glue this down inside here on the inside cover, like so. Put a tiny bead of it along there and along there, and then gosh, this is a new glue and it's coming out a bit too quick. I try not to squeeze it. Okay, so now do I want to do it that way first and go down like that? No, I'm going to do fold that down first. Now this won't be even inside. Going to fold that up, and then I'm going to roll that corner in and roll that corner in. So we're going to put a tiny double glue here. Oh dear, that, gosh, oh, I've got stand glue on my hands. Roll that corner in, roll that corner in, and pop that down there like so. Pop that down and snip off the frayed bits. Although I'm covering the inside, I've decided with some paper, I think. Okay, so we are doing this side first. I don't want to put too much on, so I'm only kind of putting a thin bead, or I'm trying to. So that then comes up like so. Yeah, I think this is how I did the last one, isn't it? I'm just roughly gauging where the flap's going to come. Put a little thin line down there, and that is going like this, and then we're doing the same again. We're just going to roll, put a blob of glue here, which is how I do it anyway, and here. And then I'm rolling that corner in and that corner in, just as if you're doing the end of a parcel, you know, where you fold that in. So yeah, we've got very little here, but we're going to cover it, so it's going to be okay, she says. No, oh, I didn't put any glue, did I? Well, it's not going to stick, Susan, if you don't put any glue on it. just can't get the staff these days, can you? Get a decent job. Now I'm covered in glue and I've just got to rub it off. I cannot stand it. Right, so we've done our book by hook or by crook. Right, so let's choose a piece to go in the side. So we're going to stick with this pad, and it's double-sided, so how about, I don't know, ooh, see there's lots of colours in this, so I can use a lot of these. So the purple sings out to me. I think there are 2 of each, but that's good. So we use this purple one here. So if we don't have enough, we'll make a mistake. You know I can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure there and there. Now, do we want to put this on first, or and cover that over as well? Let me think. Is that too wide? Do I want to cover that like so? I think I prefer mine on the top, so I think we'll do that next. Okay, let's see. Is this going to be too long? Yeah, I don't really. Let's have a look. Let's cut a bit off. I'll say about that much. Making sure this is up the right way. Okay, so that's better, I think. Like that. So now I've got to make sure that it goes in the middle. So I'm going to try and do it so that it's even. I'm going to run a line of glue down here. Don't know if I need, how high or low I need to go, but we'll find out. Got to turn that over and have that so that it's kind of like that. I'm going to pop that on my glue, making sure that it's about even. So that way, I'm just going to do this in like stages. So I'm going to, you know what I didn't do? I just looked, well, as it's only for me, I never neatened off these edges, so they're not too bad, but it's something I would normally do if I was making something for someone else. I would definitely do that, but I think as this is only for me, I'm going to just leave it as it is now, because once the papers are in, I don't think you're going to see it too much. But sometimes when you start cutting up more of the actual covers, especially when it's this setup like this, because it's not an old book. The old books were really put together, I think, bound a bit better in a way. If you think about the ones that will fall into bits, they're quite old, you know, whereas this is a modern book, and I think it was, you know, I think people just use recycled papers and things, which is good. I just want a bit more there. So I think that is good enough for me. Right, okay, so now that's our book so far. See, it's fairly easy and straightforward, and you can get loads and loads of hardback books in the charity shops in the UK, thrift shops overseas, all sorts of places. People sell them outside their house. In our village, there's a bus shelter, and there's a little cupboard inside the bus shelter. It's a covered shelter, and there's books, and you can go along and you could take whatever book you want, or books. You can take your books there, and you never know what you're going to find. So that's one way. I see people on our village Facebook page, and they I'm just going to fold this in half, because I think this might be a good way. Yeah, and they have little signs up outside their house, at the end of their, by the gate or something, and the path, and they say, put a sign up saying free. You know, you can get them everywhere, and it doesn't have to cost an absolute fortune. So I'm going to go for this bottom half on here. So I just want to cut that with my the joys of having a lack of space to actually put everything in a nice place. It's all higgledy-piggledy at the moment. So I want to make sure that's on the groove there. Very bright this side, isn't it? Lovely mandala though. So that's that. And we'll probably have to bring in our, so it's ombre. You can see it starts dark and goes lighter, like so. Right, okay, let's see. So we need to take a bit more off. So now I can manage this a bit better. Pencil. I kind of want to go, say, to about there. So I want to do the same probably on the other side. So I'm going to put them together and line them up. I just put the same mark there. Bring in my guillotine, my trusty friend. Been with me through thick and thin. Very good. Look, that would make a lovely kind of journal card, wouldn't it? And then this one. And I probably need to take some off the width. Keep those. Right. Let's move that down for a minute. And let's see which side do I like best. Doesn't matter too much because I'm going to see them only when I open the book. So I quite like that height there, and I think width wise I think it's probably going to be there just inside the book. So again I need to turn it over and just check this side and do this side. So I said there and there ish, and then here. So I've got a nice wide spine, you see, that was already on here. So let's, I think about, very hard to see because I'm sitting down. Right, so I think that's probably roughly the same on both sides. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is more or less. Right, let's quickly do that. Checking that I'm still recording. Oh, stressful, isn't it? Very. There's nothing more annoying, I think, than nice belly band. Nothing more annoying than doing your video and realising that your phone has stopped mid-video for whatever reason, and you haven't caught what you said, you know. It's awful. So it's soul destroying, really. Right, so here we go. So I like the darker one there, I think, and the lighter one here. And I'm just going around the corners of these. So just get this. We'll do 7mm, I think. Yeah, so Paddy Dog, believe it or not, has asked to go and lay in the conservatory. Now, our conservatory in this heat is too hot for the cactus plants that I have out there. And he wants to go and lay in it. And he's part Chihuahua. And we keep saying, well, it must be the Chihuahua in you. The Mexican heat he wants. It must be, because he's just obsessed. I've never known a dog like it. There's me keeping all the doors shut to keep the heat out, and him out there basking in it. Yeah, I think that's nice. Right, let's put these down. Okay, so I'm just going to use this because it's very good at adhering thick card to material. And you know what, once it's dry I can go around and check with the art glitter glue if I need to. So I want it, I just have to hold it up myself because I just want to make sure that it's straight. And it's so good with this because you do get this slidey wiggle room. So that's one side. Now you can put pocket on this inside cover and the back inside cover, so front and back, which gives you even more space for all your stuff, your ephemera bits, embellishments I should say. So this is for my labels, and just want to check that I've got this lined up so it looks fairly similar. Luckily enough this glue also rubs off, so that's that. I thought I'd lost my bone folder, so I ordered another one, and it's the same colour as the first one, only look at the difference. I mean, that was getting a bit messy now, but look, these need a good wash. I think I've actually rubbed off the Paper Mania. Anyway, I'm digressing, aren't I? So I'm going to cut the glue, and that is the cover of our ephemera book. So I'm just recreasing those down there, just with my hand, and down there. So the next thing is I'm going to use my crocodile, and if you haven't got one but you want to use elastic, because then you could take the pages in and out, you can just wind the elastic round the spine, round like that, inside and out, and that's just as good. But I'm going to use my crocodile and put 2 holes at the top, 2 at the bottom, and put some elastic in that way. Well, that's the plan anyway. So you can do as many holes. I don't know if I get 3 in here, I'll see. Anyway, first of all we want to look at papers, so bring back the pad, and so we can go to town now on the papers we want. So I love these blues. Let's turn it round the other way, because I like, oh how funny, it's 2-way, isn't it? What I wanted to see were the dark colours, but anyway, so the bluey greens are lovely, the blues, I mean I love them all really, and they're beautiful in like a boho-y sort of journal. don't know if they're still sold even, to be honest. I try not to look because I'm buying stuff that I don't really need. I expect we all do that, and then I just hoard it. So let's see, do we want anything like this? Well, it's going to be like that on the inside, so we're going to take that one. I might try and put 4 pages in, I think, to start with. So I have this one, and what else do we want? This one, I like this blue going down to green. That one, and that is the same as the one I've got, I think. Is that the same? No, that's different again, so I'm going to have that one. Oh, so I've got that one and that one, which are different, and this one. And let's find one more. So this one's nice, so I think we'll go for this one like that. Okay, let's see how we get on with just 4. So if it's in elastic, you don't need to do anything to it, but I just want to make 1 page with a few pockets on just to show you. Okay, right, so I'm going to fold this in half, because I think if it's going in the spine, I think this is going to be just of the right size. Obviously I don't want to crack it. I'm just folding it like that. So let's see, so it's a bit big, right? That's okay. So what we can do is we can mark it. So I'll mark it just inside the cover and just inside the bottom of the cover, like so. And then, yeah, and then I'm going to use my guillotine and cut that off. Nice pieces, something else. And I'm going to take that off. She'll keep those. Let's have a look now, see how that fits in. That is probably still a little bit too tall, so I think we'll just take a little bit off the top, like so. Okay, then I'm going to measure it and write it down so that I can do the rest. So there's a bit of scrap in my bin, so here's my, so width wise in centimetres it's 13.5 centimetres wide, and this is going to be according to the size of your book, so you don't need to worry about my measurements, just for me. So it's just 1 under 20, so it's 19 and 9. Oh, turn it over. 19.9 centimetres tall. Okay, I hope I don't throw that away. And I'll get around the corners again with the 7mm one. If you haven't got one of those, don't worry, just use your scissors and snip off the corners. That's all you need to do. Don't need a load of fancy stuff. So that's the inside, that's the outside, and we're going to put some pockets on. Now, Rachel Ox's Creations used vellum. Okay, so the thickest vellum I've got is 120 GSM. The advice by everyone is to double it up. Rachel at RachandBellacrafts used acetate, which I think is a great idea. So I've got both out. The only thing with acetate is I haven't got much. That's number one. Secondly, it gets very dusty. So what you want to do is you want to measure your pockets. Now you can have tool pockets, so I could put 3 pockets on here for my small things. I could have a tool pocket here, or 2 tool pockets, because it could be the first page. So say we wanted, so this is the other thing, it's very hard to see it. So if I have it that way, and I have it this depth, say, okay, right, so I've got to see my marks, and then I'll have to try and cut the other side the same. Let's see, can I see my mark? I can see it there. That looks a lot taller than I thought, but we'll cut it and see. It's very hard to see what you're doing. That's the other thing, you know, well, that is the thing. So it's the right width. I'll probably round the corners with the smaller corner rounder, which is the 4mm. And then I want to make this into, say I could get 2. So if I wanted, that was my mark. So let's cut at that mark. You have to really put your pencil down quite hard to get a mark, but you can rub it off. So that will be, see, this is where it gets difficult to see on camera as well. That's going to be the first pocket, and then this second pocket is going to go above it, and I'm going to mark it as best I can and hope I'm not measuring, and hope I can see it in this light, which I can't. It'd be better if I could see it this side round. Where is my mark? Ah, there it is, down the bottom now, because I've turned it round. So I'm just going to cut that there, move that out of the way, cut that down. Hopefully I can corner around this, if not I'll be snipping it. So I'm just going to do 4 corners, she says. Doesn't like it, I'm telling you, didn't like that. Why did I want to corner around it? So I think it would fit better on the page. Right, let's do the other one. See, the more you handle it, the more, well, fingerprinty it gets. Good way of getting your fingerprints taken, isn't it? I think if you do it very sharply, it works, she says. Ready? Well, it doesn't. It's probably going to blunt my blade on here now. Okay, right. So that's one, and then I'll have one there. Do I like 2 on there that size? Maybe I'll put that one down. What have we got left out of this? That would be a good one to put up there because it's shallower. Oh, it's picked up all the bits everywhere, and that's the right width, really, ish. Yeah, it's the right width. Let's do the same again. I'm no good at cutting round. I can snip off like a tag, you know, but I'm not any good at actually cutting a round corner. They wouldn't look the same. I've got one left. So I've now put all my sticky gluey fingers all over it. I find it difficult making you know, those what do they call them, specimen card type things with a bit of vellum in, because I can see all the sticky finger marks and I keep trying to wipe it, you know. So that's that. Now, I mean, I'd love to put a little thumb hole in. Huh. I don't think that's going to work, but we'll try one. See what we've got to lose. All the vellum in my stash, I suppose. Ah, that worked. Now I like that. So I like to have a little thumb notch in mine. And let's try and make them even. We can. I should have done that. Should have, could have, would have, if I'd remembered. But hey presto, it was an afterthought. So can I see just a... Ow. Oof. Didn't like it. Right, now the other thing is, and my scissors have just fallen into the bin. I think they've had enough. Had enough of me. Right, okay, so that's it. Now, I don't think you need me to do the whole thing, but I'm going to put various sizes on all the pages, and there'll be lots and lots to put all your tickets, stamps, you name it, in. All your little labels. I'm going to try and put mine down. No, I don't. No, what glue shall I use? Ooh, shall I try the art glitter? If I put a thin bead, I haven't really got the really narrow double-sided tape, otherwise I might have been inclined to try some of that, although somebody was saying the other day that if you put that to make, say, a pocket, sometimes when you put a journal card in, it will stick to it. I don't really know, so I'm going to leave that one there so that I know roughly what space. I've got to put mine about there, and it's just to eyeball it, see how you like it. Now when you use art glitter, it will dry up clear, but if you want to get rid of the excess, just rub it to the outside, not to the inside. So hopefully that's straight, and hopefully it's going to stick on. So we'll do the same on the bottom, and hopefully that will be okay. So let's repeat that with this. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it being clean. And then once you put your labels in, you're not going to notice, but actually Rachel at RachandBellacrafts, this is a good idea because it is see-through and you can see what's in it. Now I may resort to putting some vellum on for some of the other pockets, maybe the inside of the cover pocket and the back side of it. So I'm giving that, see, that to me didn't look straight, so I'm wiping it to the outside, and there we have it. So have I got something I can put in? I know this is a label, a tag, but I mean the big pockets are handy for tags, so obviously I can't shove that right in because it's got a beautiful rose on it. It's actually a label that came, a tag, Susan, a tag that came as a, like a thank you with something I bought on Etsy. It's very pretty, and I kept it even though it's got writing on it. So that's the idea. So what I'll do is I'll go away, stick all these on. Oops, a daisy. Try not to be obsessed about bits I can see on it and fingerprints. Get the Windoline out. And then I'll make the the rest of it and I'll show you at the end, okay? Because that's the general idea, and I'm sure you don't need me to show you every page. Okay, thanks for joining me today, and I will speak to you again soon. Sooner rather than later, I hope. But please bear with me. Don't unsubscribe. You know, it's quite upsetting. Well, I find it is. I take it personally, and I said to my husband, do you think I'm no good? You know, is that why? Is it because I'm no good? Although there are no rules, you know, in crafting, it is how you interpret it. But, you know, and I am planning on doing a new project, which is totally my own. And it's going to be a journal with the theme of Marie Antoinette. So that's going to come out very soon. So please bear with me, because I'm getting bits together, and I've got a few swaps to do on a YouTube, Facebook page I belong to. So I'm doing those off camera as well, because obviously I can't do them on camera. Although I could keep the video them and keep them and put them up after, so I might do that. So my daughter said to me, Mum, why don't you do that? Then you've got something else to put up, so you can keep, you know, putting the videos up. Because I know there are some YouTube crafters that manage to put up one or sometimes two a day, like 7 days a week. I can't manage that, I'm afraid. So I don't want to raise anyone's expectations, but I just wanted to, you know, tell you how much it means to me that you are my subscribers, and I really do appreciate your support. So on that note, I'll say goodbye, and if you're new to my channel, please click subscribe, please. Thank you. Bye bye.